name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Hello and regards. This is Muhammad Suleiman Ahmadzai, here with a new session for you, my friends. Yesterday, we worked on the Word program, its definition, the ways to open it, and the interface of the Word program. What are we going to do today? When we enter Word, this section at the top is called the Quick Access Toolbar. After that, we'll move on to the File tab and work with it. Then, on the next day, we'll work on the Home and View tabs. Alright, so the first section we're going to study is called the Quick Access Toolbar. Earlier, we mentioned what it's called, right? This bar is referred to as the Quick Access Toolbar. Its list is called the Quick Access Toolbar Properties. Inside the Quick Access Toolbar, as we mentioned, by default only 3 buttons are active: Save, Undo, and Redo. But in the properties, when we come here, we see 8 functions. Let's activate all of them. So, in total, 8 functions will be active here. The position of the Quick Access Toolbar can be at the top, on the title bar, or down here below, under the ribbon. Here, you click again where it says Show Below the Ribbon. When we click on Below, it shows it below the ribbon. If we click here again on Show Above the Ribbon, it will show it above the ribbon once more. And this last button we worked on is for minimizing or not minimizing the ribbon. We could do this by right-clicking here, and you could also do it from this section, and we had also used the shortcut Control plus F1 for it. Apart from these 8 tasks, we can also add other tasks from here if we want. If we want, we can also include tasks from below into these 8 tasks. For example, we can tell it that we want to add bold there as well. Again, we right-click. We tell it, Add to Quick Access Toolbar. Now, if bold is added here, or for example, we tell it to add italic there as well. Add to Quick Access Toolbar. Now, if these commands are not among the main 8, they are extra commands that have been added there. If we don't want them anymore, we can right-click again and tell it, Remove from Quick Access Toolbar, or Remove from Quick Access Toolbar. So in the end, what happens to the Quick Access Toolbar? It gets removed. Now look here. Here we have a series of paragraphs. At the top here, the first button we have is called Save. Control S or Alt plus F plus S. The Alt plus F plus S shortcuts are not the built-in save shortcuts. Control S is the built-in shortcut. Here we can click or we can click with the mouse. When you click Save, it asks you where you want to save the file first. You specify the file location, whether it's on OneDrive, meaning online. On those internet websites, through OneDrive, you get 15 gigabytes of storage capacity. You can save it there. It's like the cloud, or it's OneDrive. For example, you can save it in your email, or on one of your computer's drives, drive C, D, E, or P, or on the desktop or in the Downloads folder. There are different folders available. For now, I'll choose the desktop, so it will be saved on the computer screen. Sometimes it's easier to make the file accessible from there. We quickly delete these extra files. So let's name this 433 and save it for us. Now look, in this section, the page title has become the title of the file 433 from the document. This means the file has been saved under the name 433. If at any time we want to delete the text we have on the screen, for example, we deleted it, then we want to bring it back again. Here we have 2 buttons at the end. One is Undo, and the other button is Redo. The shortcut for Undo is Control Z, and Control Y is the shortcut for Redo. Control Z, Control Y, Undo, Redo. If we want to tell it that we don't need page 433 and want a completely new page, we can tell it New, or use the shortcut Control N or Alt Fn. A new page will appear for us. After that, we have the Open button. This one also has the shortcut Control O, or we can also press Alt Fo. It asks where your file is so that you can open it. We say there's a file called 433 on the desktop. We select it, then we click Open. That same file opens again. If we want to print this file or send it to someone by email, we click here on Send in Email. In this program, you just need to specify who you want to send this file, named 433 to, and what their email address is. Email addresses are usually written like this in lowercase. After that, our email addresses might have something like a dash or an underscore or a dot. After that, for example, if you want to type the @ you hold down Shift and 2, and the @ symbol appears. Then it could be Yahoo or Hotmail or Gmail followed by .com. As soon as you click, CC is called carbon copy. If you want to send a file to 2 people at the same time, you enter the second person's email here as well. In the subject section, you enter the title of the file. For example, what is it about? Let's say, for example, it's a CV, so that whoever opens it can understand from the subject that it's the person's CV. You can also attach your scan certificates along with your CV as normal. Then here, you click on Attach File. After that, you go to Attach Item or Browse this PC. you attach your certificates. For example, let's say instead of certificates, I'll just attach a few photos for now. Click on Insert. It will display the certificate as an image. In this way, you can attach 2, 3, or 4 items to your CV. For example, you might have 5 or 6 certificates as well. After this, if you want, you can also write a text message for the person you're sending the email to. Just like in Office programs, for example, if you want, you can choose the font type. You can select the size of this text. How big should it be? For example, you can make it bold. Italic will make the text slanted. Underline will show a line under the text. You can also choose the color of the text for the person you are sending it to, whether your text should have bullet points or numbering or not, depending on the situation. Well, again, these are the sections that generally relate to Office programs. We also have these features in WordPad. You attach the file. After that, at the end, you click Send. After that, we have something called Print and Print Preview. In Print Preview, it shows the file before printing, meaning how will your text or content look when it's printed. It has a feature. In the WordPad program, as we saw, this didn't work. In WordPad, we would print and save it as a PDF. Then we would see how it would be printed. We said, if that didn't work either, when we printed, we would waste paper. The good thing here is that before printing, we can see, for example, how many pages we have in total. Here, we want to click on this section. What does next page mean? Show one page. Here are their numbers. Page 1, when you click next page. The next page, again, next. So in total, we have 4 pages. Previous page shows us the previous page. Next also takes us to the next page, whichever page we set it to. We can tell both by the number and by looking. For example, here in the stage bar, we can see that we're on page 3 on the 3rd page. In Poly, it asks us whether to show only one page at a time with a delay, or to display the pages side by side at the same time. Every time we click, it shows pages 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 2 at a time, side by side. But if one page is selected, that's what happens. The pages 1, 2, 3, 4 are shown one at a time with a delay. In the zoom section, we can click so that, for example, the data or the pages are shown to us zoomed in. It's like this. In the standard mode, if we exit and return to standard mode with the default zoom setting, the zoom is at 100%. If we want it bigger, we can also change it by clicking. Normally it does the same thing, meaning when you click the plus or minus on the page or just use the mouse, it zooms in or zooms out. For us, it brings it up at 100% and on one page. After that, we have something called the Page tab. We can also work with the Page tab from our File menu, from our File tab. We can work from here. That means we can open this menu directly. That's Alt plus F, D. In the previous version of the program, this menu was Alt plus F, U. Alt plus F, G directly opens the Page tab. It doesn't matter if we're here. Here, I click on Setup. Before printing, we adjust the settings, just like we saw in Notepad where we select the paper size. Our paper is A4 or A5. Or letter. That is, the sheets commonly used in the market as Azari or PAS. These sheets are A4 or A4 size. We choose the file orientation, whether it should be portrait or landscape, meaning vertical, or your file or sheet can be horizontal. As we said, for some things we use vertical and horizontal. Like a ruler, if it's vertical, we call it a vertical ruler, and if it's horizontal, we call it a horizontal ruler. But when it comes to paper, the words vertical and horizontal aren't used. Both basically mean vertical and horizontal. For paper, we choose between portrait and landscape. Okay, so I select portrait, and then we choose the margins, the borders. For example, if we set this to 0, it means there's no distance from the edge of the page. Again, in the preview, it shows that the text will be printed like this. Or if we set it like this, it means there won't be any margins at all. Again, this is a problem. For example, if your page has 20 or 30 lines, some of the text will get cut off here because there's absolutely no margin at all. So it's better to have a bit of a margin so that our text is safe and, in the end, prints correctly in any situation. You can choose 1/2 inch or 1 inch. For now, we've selected 1 inch. There should be a 1 inch margin on all 4 sides. In the settings, there's an option for print page number, which means each page will have a page number. If we turn it off, it means we don't want any page numbers on any of the pages. Don't print the page number on the page. If we want it, we just turn it on. We say, okay, let it be like this. Now, on every page, you'll see the page number is printed. After that, once the setup is complete, we tell it to print this for us. We go to print and click on it. Then it asks us to select our printer. Any printer that is installed, you might have 2 printers installed. One might be black and white, the other might be color. You select the specific printer you want. If the printer isn't available, or for example, it's installed but not working right now, or it's out of ink, or there's some issue, you can still print this. Later, you can save it on your desktop as a print file. Then you can print it out later. In the previous version of Windows, we used to select this option, Microsoft XPS Document Viewer. But in the current version of Windows, to do this, you have to go and download it. Otherwise, it won't work. You need to go to the App Store and download the XPS Document Viewer. It's better for us to choose PDF because if we have Adobe Reader, it opens it up nicely. If we don't, we have something called Microsoft Edge. Microsoft Edge can also preview PDF files. So whether we have Adobe Reader or not, we can still view PDF files. That's why we prefer to choose PDF. For example, it asks us if we want all the pages or not. We can specify a range, like saying we need pages 1 to 5, for instance. We can also use commas as separators. For example, if you have 9 pages, you can specify them. You say page 1, page 3. I need pages 3 and 5 to be printed. If you enter, for example, from page X to page Y, it will print that range. But if you use commas, it will only select the specific pages you list. But if you choose all, it will print all the pages you have, whether it's 4 or 5 pages. You can also choose how many copies of each page you want to print. You can select that option here. You can choose 2 copies, 3 copies, and so on. We tell it to print. Of course, since there's no printer, it gets saved instead. We say save it to the desktop. We also have Adobe Reader, but for now, it opened in Microsoft Edge. We said there are 4 pages, as you can see. It shows both sides of the 4 pages. All 4 pages have been printed, complete with their page numbers. Let's go back here and print it again. So, for example, you select your printer. Decide how many copies you want to print out. You can print all the pages or specify which ones, like from 1 to 5, or you can specify with a comma which pages to print in color or in black and white. You make your selection. Depending on your printer's capabilities, you click print, and finally, dear friends, I ask that if you found these videos helpful, please like the videos to support us and help the channel grow. Subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you in the next sessions. Goodbye.